Look. To be honest with you, the reason why I have the look is because of him. I have 3 earrings. Like 1, 2, 3. I have 3 right now. I have one. I didn't put it, but I have 3 earrings. He inspired me to do my 3 earrings. I have both earrings, so.
Lil Yachty's career.
She got 3. But I'm gonna react to him. I don't know why they don't hip hop don't respect Lil Yachty. I don't know why, but I'm about to see. That's my guy, man. His song is good. I ain't gonna lie. I like the minion, the little minion thing. The song, shit's dope. I be listening to the other one too. What they call it? Solo. Concrete. Oh my god.
Career should have been over in a matter of years. Hated by all of the hip-hop community over the age of 21, his back was against the wall from the second he arrived in the game. Seen as the embodiment of everything wrong with the generation of rap, his supporters were outnumbered by the scores of people who wanted to see him back in the gutter. Because in their opinion, he didn't respect the opportunity he had. Meanwhile, Yachty was just trying to have fun.
I mean, I'm making music, bro. I'm just having fun. My fans love it.
Problem with just having fun and fun.
But these days, Yachty isn't laughing anymore and set out to prove why he's one of the biggest names in the industry. The only thing that hasn't changed is that there's still plenty of fans who feel that Lil Bo is worthy of their disgust. So how did Yachty go from being a beloved figure in hip-hop to everyone, including artists from his own label, calling him out and doing anything to tarnish his reputation? My name is Luesta, and to understand why Yachty is so hated, we have to go back and see why Yachty was so despised in the first place. Although he had hits like One Night, Minnesota, and many more blowing up like crazy in the year 2016, many hip-hop fans and vets saw him as everything wrong with the genre.
I think he's a writer too, so I want to let you know.
This time in hip-hop was a bit different than it is now, as Atlanta was in the beginning stages of taking over the mainstream with their sound. And as Yachty was signed to QC, the same label that signed Migos, Lil Baby, Rich the Kid, City Girls, and more, obviously his songs had a similar vibe. Trap beats, braggadocious lyrics, auto-tuned vocals, you know, typical Atlanta stuff. And as the sound evolved, many people began to label rappers in this subgenre of hip-hop as quote-unquote mumble rappers.
But seniors mumbling and rambling, mumbling and rapping, mumble rapping. I find it hard to find actual talent.
It was a new wave that was taking over the game, and some critics and rappers had a problem with that.
Because when you look at these kids today that are rapping with the lean and the pills, they sound like garbage. Versus my generation, who, yeah, okay, X, some guys may have dabbled, but for the most part, I don't think a good majority of them dudes was doing that, and the music was quality.
For a long time, Yachty basically became the poster boy of that subgenre, and even acknowledged it in various interviews.
Well, I mean, when it comes to what they call mumble rap, I feel like you've been the poster boy for that.
Because I'm the one who speaks up, you know. I'm the one who, I've been going on all these interviews, and I'm the one taking all the flock for everything, because I be speaking, I be talking.
What's funny is that despite saying this, Lil Bo also clarified that he felt the term didn't really relate to him.
Does it bother you, or do you
No, it don't bother me, although I still feel like it don't relate to me, but it doesn't bother me. I be talking with grills sometimes, you know, so it may sound sometimes like I mumble, you know what I'm saying, when I speak. And I just got, my voice is different.
However, not only was he labeled a mumble rapper, but he also became a symbol of the new generation of rappers who often faced criticism for not showing enough respect to the legendary pioneers of the genre. This became a huge deal starting on November 8th, 2016, when Yachty appeared alongside his producer Perry for Pitchfork's Over/Under series. In this show, they were asked to rate things ranging from pirating to famous celebrities like Tom Hanks and Biggie. And when it came down to what he would rate the notorious B.I.G., one of the most respected and legendary rappers out of Brooklyn, the then 18-year-old rapper said this.
It's overrated. I've never listened. I'm not gonna say I've never listened. I've like heard like his stuff in movies and stuff. I grew up very sheltered. I can't say the same for him. Overrated.
As soon as the clip began to surface and do the rounds on social media, Yachty bought himself the intense scrutiny of
Some shit always happen over here, man. I'm telling you, boy. I need to get out of here.
Everyone who didn't buy into his King of the Teens image. Basically, this marked the first time that he began getting hated by the masses, as now he was seen as an ungrateful kid who didn't respect what came before him. The backlash was pretty bad, and I'm telling you, everybody was talking about it at the time. To add salt to the wound, this wasn't even the first time that Yachty was seen disrespecting a legend. And only about 2 months prior to this, Yachty had posted a video to social media where he and his friends claimed that Drake was better than Tupac.
What you say? Drake is better than Tupac and Biggie. They ain't got shit on Drake.
This received so much negative feedback that it's hard to find a single comment where they were supportive of Yachty's opinion. At first, Yachty tried to act like he was unfazed by all the hate and just kept making himself the face of his era.
Why do you think that people always take what you say and twist it to be the most negative?
I don't know, bro. Like, I think it's just because I'm like the leader of this new school, like, and it's like such a big line between the old school and the new school. Like, it's not together. Like, it's clear and evident that the old school of hip hop and the new school of hip hop aren't best friends. You know, like it's a lot of old MCs that just don't really have much respect for this new school like rock stars.
They don't have to respect you.
True, and then it's the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Even when faced with intense criticism, Yachty refused to really back down or take any accountability for his role in the hate he was receiving. But it's clear the negativity eventually
This dance move is doing dope.
got to him. Only a couple days later, he was appearing on interviews, immediately taking back what he said.
People take it very personal when it comes to Biggie, and
at the time I wasn't really, understanding that, but now I'm at a point where I understand, it's a lot serious to specific people because it's just like, I don't know, he's just one of those subjects that just like,
It's touchy, dog. Him and Pac, it's touchy, it's emotional. People are invested.
Exactly. And, I'm from a new generation where I just wasn't as emotionally connected, but I'm at a point now in life where I understand it.
Yeah.
And I respect it, and
you learn from it.
If you want a clear picture of how big of a deal this was, Yachty claimed that he was literally starting to receive death threats for the controversy. But even though there was a lot of hate out there, none of this was really affecting Yachty's bag. And to be honest, the publicity he was receiving was just making him more and more famous. And it also allowed him to reach a wider audience. Amid making $13 million in 16 months from endorsement deals with Sprite and Target, among others, Yachty was definitely moving like a brand and successfully getting the bag. So if he was truly unbothered by all—
See, as soon you get money and famous and shit, they gonna throw a lot of deal at you, man. I'm so serious. Even though if you're a YouTuber, you will sign all the deal with you. Hey, you wanna do this for $1,000? Sign this. Sure. Yes, you gotta say yes or no. You know what I mean?
all of the smoke he was getting from his detractors, then he would be entitled to. But while his pockets were getting bigger, so did the tension between him and the hip-hop community.
It was a video of Lil Yachty freestyling at Hot 97. He captioned it with a bunch of emojis showing disapproval, basically saying he ain't with it. Now, a fan actually said this is ridiculous. Whoever put him behind a mic and gave him a chance was a fool. Hip-hop is dead because of shit like this. How are people okay with the whack-ass wannabe rappers like him? Okay, Pete Rock actually responded to that person. He says, shaking my head. They don't match the world that we live in making this type of nonsense or not repping the culture right. They breed in these stupid-ass fans with no fucking brains. So we gonna have a world full of that? Really? Now, of course, Lil Yachty was not gonna take that too lightly. He didn't appreciate that.
His attitude towards the culture gave some of the genre's most vocal critics a reason to express their frustration whenever he showed up on their shows during a press run. And that's exactly what happened in the infamous Joe Budden showdown. Now, I have talked about the drama between Joe Budden and Lil Yachty on my page a few times before, but I think it's worth recapping again for this video because it was really one of the most controversial moments in his career. Well, up until recently at least, when the disdain for Yachty really went into overdrive. Back in April of 2017, Yachty faced scrutiny from Joe Budden, who had joined the Deska, Alexis, and Academics on Complex's—
Budden always hitting anyway, so everything he do, he don't like. That's crazy.
new hip-hop debate show titled Everyday Struggle. As Yachty was gearing up to promote his album Teenage Emotions, Joe Budden was not happy about it. Without even hearing a single track, Joe Budden formed his opinion based on the album's controversial cover. The cover features Lil Boat at a movie theater surrounded by various outcasts, including an overweight girl, 2 gay men, an albino, a punk rocker, and a woman with vitiligo. Joe claimed that the cover was pandering to the LGBTQ+ community and was ruining hip-hop culture.
I don't think that Yachty is hip-hop. I don't think that Yachty's label is hip hop. And when you're not hip hop, you're trying to just troll or exploit, you get things like this.
Weeks later, Yachty thought it would be fun to come onto the show and discuss it with Joe. However, nobody knew that Joe Budden was about to let Yachty have it for disrespecting the culture that he held near and dear to his heart. 2 minutes in, and Joe Budden threw a fit.
So you came up with this cover?
Yeah, I came up with that cover, and
nobody from the art department at the label came up with this cover.
No,
you went
actually,
to the label and said, I want 2 gay dudes kissing. I want the white girl with the funny hair. That you went to the label and said you want all of that.
Actually, I didn't go to the label.
Who you called?
I didn't call the label. It has nothing to do with the label. We do it and then we give it to the label.
Joe Budden didn't think that Yachty was really a rapper who blew up off of his talents. Instead, he felt like his label was making him have as many antics and gimmicks as possible to help him blow up.
Tell me what the message is here.
The message is just to believe in yourself, to love yourself. Basically, it's just showing all signs of life, you know what I'm saying? She has vitiligo. She's like an emotional girl, you know what I'm saying? We have obesity, and then we have same-sex love. You know what I'm saying?
What about your music speaks to any of that?
My music is basically to stay positive and just to love yourself.
It was almost as if whatever Yachty said didn't even matter, as Joe was simply bitter from the start. When the Atlanta native tried to explain how he can identify with feeling like an outcast, Budden clearly takes issue with it and immediately calls his claim bullshit.
I feel like the new generation is the outcast, but I feel like I'm the top outcast.
Let me tell you something, right?
Now that's interesting.
That's bullshit.
Then, when Yachty tried to say that he's happy every day, Budden then accuses him of being media trained.
I'm happy every day because life is moving in such a positive way, I can't get slowed down.
So maybe he has been media trained. This is a very media trained answer.
Before schooling him on how humans work.
Let me tell you about how humans are.
Okay, I'm listening.
Feelings are fickle. What that means is they come and they go. Nobody is one thing forever. You cannot tell me, you would be lying to tell me that as a young man in this industry, in this music industry, in the music business, you are happy 24/7. That is a lie. So that is bullshit, and I refuse to have somebody tell me bullshit.
And although Yachty tried to explain that he was really grateful for everything he had, Joe just wasn't buying it.
When you come from a college dorm room with no money and you ain't getting no play with no girls, you have no clothes, you have no car, and you come to having 3-4 cars, you got millions of dollars, $500,000 on your body just to wear, and any kind of clothes you want, any hoes you want, how could you be upset?
Because I don't think that's where your values lie. That's why. That's why.
Throughout the duration of the interview, Budden...
I understand what Yachty said, because when you want nothing, no girl wants you. So I'm with Lil Yachty, man. I don't care what y'all say. You got cars, girls. I'm not gonna be sad. I swear to God, if my life changed tonight or tomorrow, I become rich, I'm not going to school. I'm not going to work. I'm just gonna focus on myself and then make videos and then be happy. I think it's the work and school shit got you fucked up, man. I'm serious. Once you're your own boss, man, fuck. Watch. It's my life change right away. You're gonna see. You're gonna have nice content. You're gonna see I have nice editor. You're gonna see I have people who do my thumbnails. Watch. I'm coming for you. I'm telling you, I'm coming. It's just not the time yet, but I'm coming.
Then made it clear that he had no respect for Yachty whatsoever, and that he didn't stand for anything Yachty represented. But after watching what went down, a lot of viewers who weren't even fans of his saluted Yachty for keeping his composure and standing up to the veteran MC. However, Joe pointed out a few valid flaws within Yachty's mindset, such as the fact that he didn't even know what type of deal he was signed to. And when reflecting back to the interview all these years later, Yachty admitted that the whole incident, as well as being used as a scapegoat by Joe Budden for what's wrong with the culture, did get to him.
Joe was just kind of like, every time he was just trying to diss the newer rappers, he would just use you. For whatever reason, it was just you. And I could imagine, because I knew you were watching the show at that time.
That's my fucking favorite show.
And every fucking day, imagine like you're just getting slammed. It's kind of like how KD feels about these sports
I swear to God, I was just going to say that. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what it feels like of being a star basketball player, just watching the show that you watch as soon as you wake up.
I got the whole team basketball. That's dope.
and it's like they're talking about you every fucking day. Yeah, bro, I got such tough skin. You have to be if you want to be an artist or a rapper specifically, because it's just everyone has an opinion. You done had so many private conversations to where you be like, what's your number? And we talk about it after, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, so no, I didn't take nothing from it. It's not like I left there and was like, oh my God, let me do all my research and my homework on. I left that shit like, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't leave that shit with like, oh man, he was teaching me something valuable. That's how I left it, you know what I'm saying? Because he just looked crazy.
Even with people like Budden coming at his neck, the strength of his early material meant that the younger listeners and many critics still saw him as an important voice in hip-hop. But unfortunately for Yachty, the road was about to get a little bumpier when the perception shifted from Lil Boat being a man who was pushing the genre forward to an artist who was just phoning it in. In May of 2017, Lil Yachty finally dropped his debut album, Teenage Emotions. And, well, it flopped. It was panned by most critics who originally thought what he was doing was cool and innovative.
If we're gonna care about a Yachty mixtape, a Yachty album, a Yachty anything 2 years from now, the quality has got to improve on all fronts, because there's only a certain amount of time in which Yachty's hype will sort of be able to insulate him from the severe mediocrity that he's treating his fans to on this album. I'm feeling a light 2 on this record.
There's also the small matter of fact that it underperformed and didn't spawn any hits like Minnesota or One Night. To this day, it still hasn't been gold certified, while the Lil Boat mixtape was. With that, Lil Yachty suddenly found himself in a tough spot. While he had the fame he craved, he couldn't get the love and admiration that he hoped would come with it. Almost 10 million followers and couldn't sell more than 50K. From here, Yachty entered a period where no matter how hard he tried, he found himself boxed in as just another meme rapper who was never cut out to last. And while albums like 2018's Lil Boat 2 improved on the commercial performance of Teenage Emotions, he still couldn't get past the idea from fans that he was really striving to make everything unique or that would stand the test of time. But still, he stubbornly carried himself like a star, releasing albums like Nothing to Prove, when in reality, it really should have been called Everything to Lose, as the public's interest in him was dwindling. I feel that this was once again summed up perfectly by Anthony Fantano.
While I have had my issues with a lot of Yachty projects so far, it hasn't been until now that I felt like he's not really trying. And it's unfortunate, because when Yachty first came out, I thought this guy is one of the more unique voices out here, really excited to see where he's going, but now it just seems like he's going with the current, which if he continues on that path, eventually he's gonna end up washed up at shore. I'm feeling a decent Too Strong 2 on this thing.
Looking like he couldn't craft a single as big as One Night, Broccoli, or create new albums that had much replay value, even those who loved his music in the past were now asking major questions about where he went next. In some cases, they even thought that he lost his drive to succeed at all. What happened to this guy? I really enjoy a lot of Lil Yachty's early stuff. Now, he seems so apathetic and completely out of touch with what made him such a catch. It's pretty sad to see. Is he incapable of making a good project at this point? However, while the world was counting Yachty out, he was doubling down on self-belief, as even when tracks were failing to make much of an impact, with him being written off as just another mumble rapper, and only things like a Drake feature on Oprah's bank account really got him into the headlines, Lil Bo was telling anyone who would listen that he had more to give.
Well, see, the thing is, it's more to me than a mumble rapper. I would be setting myself short if I settled for that. Like, if I was okay with calling me a mumble rapper or SoundCloud rapper or one-hit wonder or whatever the fuck, pop rapper, whatever someone want to say, I'd be setting myself short, bro, because I rap better than 96% of the new generation. I swear to God.
That's a lot, B. That's a big number.
Yo, bro, it's no rapper from my class and after. It's no nigga from my class and after that I can't get on track with and it's gonna shit on me, bro. Like, I respect the niggas before me. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking about these new niggas, though. All these new niggas, bro. It's no nigga that can come on a track and just shit on me. And I prove that any track I get on. That's why I would love to make a song with Corday or whoever is rappy. Cause niggas be trying me, bro. I'm not talking about he trying me or like, bro, it's a formula to certain music, bro, certain songs. And they don't always necessarily has to incorporate all these, big old metaphors and shit like that. I be trying to make songs and incorporate bars in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm Jay-Z or no shit like that. Don't get it twisted. Let's stop there. But I can rap, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really be rapping.
Honing his skills as both a rapper and producer, Lil Yachty knew that there was something else in the tank, even if he didn't know exactly what it was yet. And instead of feeling sorry for himself, he recognized that the need to constantly prove his haters wrong was a challenge his entire generation faced.
I just feel like niggas be underestimating me. But niggas underestimate the new generation. generation in a whole. It's not just me. Like, it's a whole. The whole new generation niggas just are underestimated when it comes to lyrics or bars or being a real rapper, or I don't know, whatever the fuck. Of course, you still got your guys, but I'm talking about like the forefront leaders of the new generation, bro. People try to shit on and try to like make it seem like niggas just, I don't know, bro. Bro, you gotta listen to the song me and Jid did. It's called Van Gogh. It's on YouTube, bro. That was gonna be on my album. I was eating that beat a lot, bro.
Whether or not he realized it at the time, Lil Yachty had a choice. He could either stick to what he knew, continually received mixed reviews, and never escaped that mumble rapper tag that he never wanted in the first place, or he could do what too few artists do in today's music industry, which is taking a risk. And while he did make the decision to do just that and earn more respect than ever, it came with its own problems, which, if we're being honest, he did very little to avoid. When Lil Yachty first came out the gate, the last words that you probably thought to associate him with would be psychedelic rock. But on his latest album, Let's Start Here, that's exactly what he served up. But before we get to that point, Yachty's old fun-loving side was about to pay off again. A throwback track he recorded months before his bold new era began would give him a huge viral smash, the likes of which we hadn't seen in years. The track in question, Poland, was never actually meant to see the light of day.
I took the walk to Poland.
Inspired by a literal bottle of Poland Springs water in the studio rather than anything to do with the country itself, its lean-influenced lyrics and crazy vocal effects took Yachty fans back to the days of Lil Boat. But Yachty never wanted to take them there because he was busy finding his next move, and only a leak led to its release.
That was irritating. I was pissed because I made Poland while making this album on a day when they were like mixing in the other room, and I was just bored with the homies. I would have never dropped Poland ever, you know, because I was trying to pivot myself into this. So I was really irritated when it dropped, but I'm so grateful it did. Like I said, I really don't know what I do next. I don't know if I'm gonna do this again or do more rap.
Although this could have given way to a whole new wave of rapping for Yachty, the ATL rapper, who had also become part of Drake's inner circle, still wanted to do something fresh. And as he revealed in an interview, it was a conversation with a true creative
How the fuck did Chain do this? That's crazy.
Force in Tyler the Creator that made it feel within reach. I don't fully remember, but he was very motivating and inspiring, Yachty told Rolling Stone. I didn't tell him my ideas, but it was more so, whatever is in your heart and in your mind that you want to do it. And do it fully. Don't shortcut it. Don't cut any corners. Given a confidence boost by a man who had also been written off as just a fad at one point, Yachty was now taking inspiration not from his fellow rappers, but groups like Pink Floyd. And with that, he built something which he felt made everything he had done beforehand irrelevant. So in an interview with Billboard before the album's release, he made it known that he was ready to close the page on the past once and for all. Fuck any of the albums I dropped before this one. I came into music in a time where rap was real hardcore. It was real street. And a bunch of us kids came in with colorful hair and dressing different and basically said, "Move out the way, old fucks. We on some other shit." I was young and I didn't really give a fuck. So I did do things that may have led people to the assumptions that I was a mumble rapper or a SoundCloud kid, or I don't appreciate the history of hip hop. But to be honest, I've always been so much more than just hip hop. Soon, Let's Start Here would drop and receive the highest praise for a project that Yachty has ever had in his entire career. With this one move, Yachty proved that he was no longer that kid who just wanted to be famous. He was an artist, and for the first time in his career, he was someone who wanted to make tracks that lasted.
The goal I had in mind for Black Seminole, after like being in my room alone many nights thinking like I could never ever do anything Roger Waters has ever did, to making that record, and like obviously by all means it is nothing like Pink Floyd. I never want anyone to think that's what I'm saying, but it just made me feel like I made a record that will be played for the rest of time.
I think it's an amazing song.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites of yours.
After scoring a major win with Let's Start Here, Yachty went from on the cusp of a fall off to literally writing for Drake on tracks like Jumbotron Shit Poppin', Back Outside Boys, Another Late Night, and Calling for You. It's commendable that Yachty took a big swing and knocked it out of the park. particularly when so many artists from his class faded into insignificance or got clowned out of the culture. But this hasn't come without any unfortunate side effects, because these days, Yachty is despised by so many fans for a whole host of reasons that have nothing to do with how he started out. Instead, they're all related to the cocky and conceited way he's carried himself since he's gotten his career back on track, as well as some of the people that he might have exploited to get there.
Y'all earrings small as fuck, bro. Y'all earrings is little. These is 16 carats for my earrings, man. You niggas is little. You niggas ain't got no prezzies, man. You niggas is bitches. And I'm not even gonna walk outside and show y'all how I walk around. You niggas be on my dick, bro, and you niggas is hoes, bro. And I rap better than a lot of y'all niggas, bro. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. But I love y'all, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Alright.
By releasing Let's Start Here, Yachty had proved all of his haters wrong. But the way that he's gone about it has really irked a lot of people, and it's only got worse the more he's opened his mouth since the album dropped. It all began with the promo cycle for the project. I touched on it earlier, but one of the driving forces behind Yachty's drive to make the album was the sense that he didn't want to be seen as just a rapper anymore. I think I created it just because I really wanted to be taken serious.
I got 3 earrings, heavy earrings. My sister saw 3 earrings on my ear. Like, your ear was for love. Your ear was for love. I'm gonna show you those earrings that I have, man. I have 3 kinds of earrings. Man, my sister said your ear will for love. I'm trying to pick it up, but this shit don't want me to pick it up. It's crazy. Hold up. Alright. This is the first one. But different. It's the same one, but it's like different. It's like gold, silver. It's the second one. I have 2 more. You see. Yeah, man. Crazy. Yeah, my sister like, your ear was for love. I was like, what? I have 6. I be putting on my ear, man. Crazy. And right now I just leave 1 now. I got 6, yo. When I become rich, I'm gonna get diamond. Can't wait.
As an artist, you know? Not just some SoundCloud rapper, not some mumble rapper, not some guy that just made 1 hit. You know, I wanted to really be taken serious because music is, like, everything to me. You know, I respect all walks of music, not just rap and hip-hop, everything. Comments like these were commonplace throughout the promotion of the album, and gradually, they started to rub people the wrong way. Because to them, it sounded like Yachty was saying he was too good for hip-hop, not to mention miles ahead of those he came up with. Who does Lil Yachty think he is? This just pissed me off. First of all, Yachty doesn't even have the fan base of Uzi, 21, or Kodak Black because his music sucked major ass for 6 whole years. Ever since he's been hanging out with Drake and had a passable psych rock album, his ego has inflated to galaxy-sized proportions. Yachty knows exactly what it's like to be hated by the entire hip-hop audience, so he did what he could to clear up what he meant.
I want to talk about that for a second because there was this conversation on the internet after I said that, and people took it as me trying to say like, oh, I hate when rappers say I want to be taken serious as an artist, as if I was saying that like rap isn't like being like you're not serious if you're a rapper. That's not what I meant. Me specifically, I do more than rap. For a long time in my career, I wanted to be taken serious as a rapper, and I said that, and so I would go try and do radio interviews or freestyles or whatever just because I wanted that. I did Michigan Boy Bolt. I did things like that's when I was trying to prove a rapper, and I'm past that. Now I'm proving I'm an artist.
But this wouldn't be the last time that Yachty's superior attitude landed him in trouble. During a Rolling Stone Musicians on Musicians with Philly rapper Tierra Whack, Lil Bo basically said that rap sucks right now. Hip-hop is in a terrible place. The state of hip-hop right now is a lot of imitation. It's a lot of quick, low-quality music being put out. It's a lot less risk-taking. It's a lot less originality. People are too safe now. Everyone is so safe. I would rather take the risk than to take the L. As someone who has made a living off of rap for most of his adult life, this was a pretty wild thing to say. It felt like he was actively trampling on the genre that made him famous, the same one that he dissed the legends of years before and barely escaped with a career because of it. But that was just the tip of the iceberg, because in that same interview, Yachty would prove that he has a very warped perception of who he is as an artist, while also punching down at his fellow rappers once again.
When I was younger and coming up to class, I had glorified drugs, face tats, everything under the book, you know what I'm saying? And what I learned as I got older is that I never had the fan base of certain peers because I didn't glorify negativity.
I'm following your footsteps.
Yeah.
You were able to keep a clean image. You weren't really, promoting drugs or violence or any of that. You were literally my twin.
Straight away, fans tore him to shreds for this, reminding him of the many times that he would use the same kind of subject matters as others in his bars, right up until the present day where he's promoted drug use in his lyrics. Just months prior, he had saved his career by taking the walk to Poland. Now, he was taking aim at the drug culture in hip-hop and the trap music culture that he'd existed in. It made little sense to hip-hop fans, and they were quick to remind him that he wasn't as original or pioneering as he thought he was. Made a whole album imitating Detroit rappers and another imitating Tame Impala, LMAO. But rather than take the criticism and keep moving, Yachty did the worst thing that he could, which is he started responding to it. At the same time, bragging about his pockets and success. You dudes will tweet some negative about me to get them likes just to post that weak ass SoundCloud link under it, and nobody clicks that shit. And this shit sucks. Like, bruh, you're never gonna make it. When a fan commented saying, you just signed 4 female visas and you imitate Earl when he raps over Alchemist beats, dude, he responded by saying, I signed 1 girl and I don't imitate Earl. You dudes just be talking, bro. You dudes who hide behind pop culture pictures just be saying anything for likes and retweets. People act like the world is going to shit when a dude gives an opinion. After the world momentarily gave him respect for what he accomplished with Let's Start Here, it seems like Yachty had been on a one-man quest to destroy whatever goodwill came his way. Because when he wasn't dissing the current state of hip-hop, he was claiming that New York, the city where the culture was invented, had no style.
And I feel like New York didn't have this, I don't want to say identity. Y'all are so clearly separated now. As far as everyone used to just kind of copy Atlanta. Oh, as far as style goes, I don't think it's shit going on when it comes to New York fashion. Y'all like Purple Label, Gamiri. And y'all wear a lot of y'all homeboys brands. Y'all really support up. Y'all wear all y'all homie shit. I know, and you can tell.
Immediately, the entire city was up in arms, with plenty of people pointing out that he made these comments while dressing like he was from the boroughs. Yachty said that people from the Bronx can't dress. It's people in Soho who dress the best in New York. Meanwhile, he dressed like 07 BX Cat. Then, hip-hop figures like ASAP Nast weighed into the conversation as they couldn't believe what they had just heard.
I'm not doing it. I'm making this shit short. I'm making it brief. You're not that guy, pal. Come on, real killers, real ones. The real ones, the originators. Boy, stop playing. You niggas is bums. Only nigga I'm jacking is Cartier.
While Yachty did eventually head to TikTok and claim it was a joke, the problem is that Lil Boat keeps alienating people with his comments. The more I hear from this man, the less I like him. And to make matters worse, it doesn't seem like it's just those on the outside looking in who are getting tired of him. Recently, it was announced that one of the leading lights of his Concrete Boys label was leaving him behind. Officially launched in March of 2024, the talented female rapper Caribou was tipped to be one of the big stars on the label. Initially starting out as Yachty's assistant, her tracks like R.I.P. Follies and Running Late, as well as appearances on TV shows like Dave, Grownish, and On the Come Up, made her seem like one of the most exciting members of the crew. In a shocking turn of events, she has now left the clique, but not before unfollowing all the members, including Yachty. Now, Yachty was left scrambling to explain what happened.
I don't want to say this. I'm gonna say this shit one time, right? We have split ways with Kara as far as this concrete shit. I have nothing to say, nothing bad to say, nothing negative to say about Kara. I wish her the best in her career. Yeah, that's that.
This led to Caribou responding, saying that Yachty was quote-unquote bullying her. She took to her Instagram story to say the following: "Put it on yo kid, I ain't write these songs, Miles," she wrote, addressing Yachty by his government name while referencing the child he welcomed in 2021. "Stop the cap and leave me out of your internet shenanigans." This led to Yachty letting the clip fly on Caribou during an Instagram live, where he accused his former assistant turned artist, claiming that she was actually very abusive towards his bodyguard.
If you want to tell this shit, tell the whole story. Go ahead, tell people how you verbally abuse people, all right? Don't get on here and make it seem like niggas kicked you out. Bullying you? Bro, go ahead, tell people how you talk to people. How you tell my security guy, oh, you homeless, oh, you work for me, you're poor, we above you, and you talk to people like they nothing, like they small, like they beneath you. How you told me you gonna spit on me when you see me. Your brain is clinically imbalanced, bro.
Then Yachty just absolutely crashed out and went on to say that he wrote all of her raps, including her viral On the Radar freestyle.
I've given you a career, and time to time you just disrespect me. I wrote every fucking verse you've done. I dressed you. I gave you that chrome Rolex. You was watching tables. I changed your motherfucking life. And you on here lying, talking about some we bully you? That shit got me fucked up, right?
Sadly, Caribou wasn't the only one with a bad experience on Yachty's label. Consisting of artists like Cody Shane, J-Bands, Earl the Pearl, Big Brother Chubba, The Good Perry, Aaron Versetti, and BU, Yachty seemed really determined to put them all on. But for one reason or another, they all fell to the side. And in interviews, Yachty has put all of that on them.
So when the selling team became like my brothers and sisters, I kind of felt the need to kind of take care of them. It got to the point where I was spending so much money, like almost $1 million, trying to like create this company out of my own money.
Right.
And they didn't want it for themselves. They were just really lazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like, why am I sitting here trying so hard to make you guys? But that's the thing, like I never wanted money from my friends either. I just really wanted them to be great. I never signed any of them. I never put none of them on paper because I didn't want that. I wanted them to go get their own labels. Just like my old best friend Perry, who I'm not that close to anymore. I never wanted anything from him. Just for him to be great. But that's a long story.
Now, there are fans who think the Concrete Boys aren't so much about creating new talent, but allowing him to justify biting their style. Lil Yachty's Concrete Boys' adopted sound was the best career move he could have done, aka him stealing DC2 Trill's flow and starting a whole crew where they all stole his flow. While he's catching flack for some of his management of the Concrete Boys, he's also catching flack for his work with Ian. Dismissed by most hip-hop fans as a Yeet and Cardi clone, the suburban white kid has been ignored by just about everybody except Yachty. Instead, he's put him on by appearing alongside him at festivals and collabing with him on a recent track called Hate Me. Now, I got a video about Ian coming real soon, but it's songs like these that have caused a lot of confusion. Because wasn't this the same guy who felt that hip-hop needed to move on that is now working with someone who's just rehashing what has already been done as an outsider to the genre? The same man that said hip-hop is in a terrible place, co-signing a trust fund kid cosplaying street rappers. But when it comes to real issues that are propelling forward the Yachty hate train, one of them is definitely his newfound obsession with flaunting his wealth. On that track with Ian, he spit some very boastful bars about his cash that had people doing a double take. No, I'm richer than your favorite rapper. If I'm not, then God, kill my mama. Huh. Biggest house on the street. Then, when people tried to check him on his claim, he continued to double down and say that he was the richest of them all. I made $8 million in my first 8 months of rapping in 2016, on God. With all that boasting about his cash, he started to sound like his bestie Drake, and unfortunately for Yachty, this has been another layer of what soured the public on him. Because as well as being name-checked,
I don't feel good, man. I'm gonna start this video, man. I don't feel good. Oh my goodness. I feel dizzy. There they are.